So everyone has anxiety to some degree. Everyone gets a bit anxious about things. The difference between anxiety and an anxiety disorder is an anxiety disorder makes your world smaller. It makes everything you do harder and harder and harder. It doesn't get better over time. It keeps you in a loop. It keeps you in rumination. You keep chewing over the cud, going over ideas, trying to solve problems. If I'd get onto a train, I was having jump in front of a train thought, jump in front of a bus, run in front of this. All those thoughts popping into my head at all times. So just imagine living with your worst fears on a hamster wheel going over and over. People dare not to speak about it because the taboo nature of the thoughts makes people feel like they're mad, makes people feel like they're a danger to themselves and a danger to society. There were certain things that I grew up with that were insidious messages that your sexuality should never really be questioned. You should almost be set in that. Your mental health is something that's a set straight line. It should never really change. Those are the two messages that I think I received a lot of. So that's why the question of my sexuality to me felt so abhorrent at the time. So probably perhaps it was some sort of internalized homophobia, but looking back at it, I think for me it was a lot more around the collapsing of my identity. So everything that I once knew, I felt had suddenly been ripped apart from me, and I was a bit like, who am I? Well, I accept the thoughts for what they are. I realized the thoughts say nothing about me. I also, most importantly, realized that life is never certain. You know, we have this desire in the world, and I think we're raised with this idea in society that everything has to be 100%. Nothing is 100%. When you go out and you get onto the bus or you get on a train, anything can happen. Life is so uncertain, so I've had to learn to realize that I can operate and I can tolerate through high amounts of anxiety. Anxiety doesn't stop me from doing things. It's about having the courage to move into what frightens you the most, and on the other side is where you grow the most. So it's the comfort zone, and the learning zone is where you move beyond anxieties.